In this video, I'm going to show you the best way to set your wall heights. So here's our model so far. And to refresh your memory, basically we've drawn these walls in at the standard heights that are defined in the wall styles. So what we're going to do now is change these wall heights as required to match the model. So what I've done here is created a view called Brickwork Course Heights. And what this view does is it changes the units of the drawing to courses instead of millimeters. So as you can see at the moment with this view, the units on these guidelines here are millimeters. So if you watch those units at the top, see how they change? Now that is actually course heights. So that's 60 courses, 80 courses, 100 courses. Of course, that's no good for drawing length of the walls, but makes setting a wall heights a lot easier. So now if we select a wall, you'll see that the units on that wall are now 28. And if we were to go back into this view and select that wall, it's in millimeters. So this is quite a handy way to set our wall heights, and we can use these course heights inside the component heights as well, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, let's start by changing all of these garage walls to 25 courses. So we have a 25 course ceiling throughout here. So I'll select those walls that we need to change. Okay, so all of those walls I've selected are currently at 28, but I'm going to make them 25 courses. A bit of a think. There we go, that's done. So now if we zoom out a bit, those attached piers, the front wall and the boundary wall have all been dropped down 3 courses. Easy. Next, we have a 31 course high ceiling through this area here, as noted. So what I need to do is I need to split this wall there, and I'm also going to split it here as well because it does change. Even though the eave height is the same, the ceiling height changes, so we'll split that as well. I'm also going to split this wall at that point as well. That wall's already split, so that wall, and that wall also need to be raised up to 31 courses. Okay, so to split a wall, this is where you use a split tool. And this wall needs to be split approximately there. Okay, so now if I zoom out and press escape and then X to select, there's the extent of the wall. It has been split at that point there. Very easy. We'll go to the 3D view. So there's that wall there, and there's the other component of the wall that has been split. Back to our plan view. So now I'm going to split this wall at that point there. Done. And now the last one is this wall has to be split at that point there. Yeah, just a little tip for you. If you want to make sure you select the wall in particular that you want to split, you can select the wall. It can get a bit tricky with all these intersection points going on. And if you go right mouse click on that wall and go send to front, that brings the wall to the front of your drawing stack. So we'll pick this wall in preference to another wall. Okay, so now I'm going to split this wall. There you see how it's gone red and it's highlighted. We know it's going to work. And I think actually the best point will be there. Okay. Okay, so now I can select that wall, that wall, that wall, this wall, and this wall, and this wall, and that's basically created an envelope of your 31 course ceiling, and we'll also grab these walls here. They need to go up 31 courses as well. And just type in 31. So look at that in 3D. Perfect. Now, these three walls also need to have the plaster drop down 3 courses, as we don't need plaster on the rear side of the wall, so it goes into a 28 course ceiling. So I have a script for that. If you select the 3 walls, so looking at the 3 course area to the rear of the house, we note that these 3 walls don't need plaster on the top 3 courses, so we can turn off or drop the plaster down to the 28 course ceiling level at the rear. So to do that, you select those 3 walls as I've done, then you can go Truth Engine, Wall Tools, drop plaster by 3 courses. And I've got 3 courses. That's a very standard change we have. Okay, you can see that these 2 walls, it's dropped down 3 courses, but it doesn't appear to have done on this wall, but it has. It's actually done it on that side. So what you do there is just select that wall and reverse sides, and done. So you get a nice visual representation of that plaster being dropped 3 courses. Okay, and then it's up to you on how far you go. There might be certain little areas in here where you might need plaster. It's all when you get to those finer details about how far the wall gets chopped and how far the plaster gets dropped. That's up to you in the business. Okay. So looking at this wall now, we do have 28 course eaves all the way through. So this 2 course face on the outside needs to come back up to 31 courses, but this internal brickwork stays at 28 courses. So we have another tool that forces all the components of the wall to go to the height of the wall, which is 28. So what it will do is we'll move that external leaf face brickwork up 3 courses to 28, or every component in that wall will be moved up to 28 courses. So if we select it like I have, then we go Truth Engine, Wall Tools, Wall Comp 0 top, which means 0 offset on the top bound, and there you go. So it's quite handy that you have to think about what you're doing. Just select the wall, and it's done. And looking at that, that raises the question of how you would actually finish that off. It might be a stud wall to get your starting point for your rafters, but I'll leave it like that because you could also bring that internal leaf up 3 courses, then turn the plaster off. Interesting to see how that is actually built. Okay, moving back to the front of the house. So we know that these walls are 21 course high, so we'll select them all. And the top's going to be 21. This 1 course face feature wall. Not exactly sure where the top is, but we'll put it at 36 courses for the point of the demonstration. So it's 28 at the moment, go to 36. Now this wall has 0 eaves, so this face brickwork needs to come up to the actual wall height again. So we can select that wall and run that tool that we just previously ran. And another tip, if you right mouse click, you get your recent commands available. So I'm just going to run that. There we go. So if we go to our plan view now, let's check for any drop footings around the front. So we can see we've got -3 to that wall, and it goes to there. So there's -3 courses through there for a top of footing. So what we're going to do is we'll split that wall there, because I want this part to be a -3, this part to be -2. So run my split tool. And then press X, and I can select every other wall, assuming these walls go down to -3 as well. And we'll just do this whole wall. And we can then say the top offset, sorry, the bottom offset will be -1. So if we go to our 3D view, that's now down at -3 all the way around through there, knowing that it's a -2. It's a -3, -3, and that's also -3. Now that technically that's not correct for that cavity wall, because internally still needs to go back to 0. So what I'm going to do, I'll put that back at 0. You see that go back up to 0, and that's now -2. So I'm going to change that external leaf and the render to go down one more course, and we do that in the component screen. So the render and vertical chord currently at -2, so we're going to make that -3. So we'll go to edit, make that -3. Okay. So now the only external leaf has dropped down one course. Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, all those wall heights are now correct. Might want to drop that one down to 25. I guarantee there's always a couple of walls that you miss first time around, so always double check your heights. That looks pretty good to me in terms of wall heights. Okay, next video we'll start entering some frames and cutting out some openings. I'll see you there.